just might want to stop now. I'm probably just going to talk and ramble and not make any coherent sense. All right. Hey folks, it's Rob. Chicken Ranch Homestead. You already know it if you've watched any of my videos. If not the first time, thanks for stopping by. Small channel, trying to make it in the world of YouTube. Alright, once again, should have combed my hair. I don't comb my hair. JD 530. See it in a bunch of videos in the beginning. It's a workhorse. I use a lawn tractor as a tractor. 2004. Toyota Sienna, 300,000. Needs some work. Pretty much it's DUN done. Friends camper. All right. The most watched video on this channel is about the graphic detail of finding my meat birds all dead. You get thumbs up to it and you're like, oh, why am I getting thumbs up to that? It's horrible. Well, maybe they like the content. Maybe they like how I searched and found everything. But you know what? The meat birds live on. They do. Right there. That is a bunch of sunflowers that when they couldn't eat the seed, I left them grow. And that's what it is. I mowed down all the rest. But I left this patch because it was the biggest patch. Kind of reminds me of them. Reminds me that even though we've lost lives due to a mink attack, that something lives on and something positive out of it. I mean, look at all that positivity right there. I mean, rain clouds. We have more than enough rain right now. In fact, we have too much rain. That's a good thing for us. It's a bad thing for other people. I know there's droughts across the country and throughout. That's not a good thing. Good steady rain for everyone would be great. All right, I'm walking around. I see a fence line. I hope this is turned off. I'm pretty sure I have it turned off. We're gonna find out really quick. If all of a sudden I jump, you know I don't. Hey, guess what? It's on. All right. It's grounding out enough it didn't really hit me. Gotta fix that later. Oh, the goat fence needs to be fixed. I never moved it back since Andy, our Amish farmer, came by and ate our field. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm going to leave it in and not give the goats this section of front pasture. It does get rain in it. Here, let me show you. Yeah, that's a sanding puddle. That's what happens throughout here. Kind of like stands up towards the side here. We got standing water. Pasture. That was hayed. Literally, what, 2 weeks ago? Not even. It is looking awesome. I mean, really awesome. Sheep over there. We had a tragic accident yesterday. I wouldn't call it a tragic accident. What I call it is unexplained passing. One of our ram lambs that was due to go to the processor soon, which I have 1 or 2 left. If you're in the western PA area and you want some lamb off of grass fed only, no feed, no GMOs, just hay. Alfalfa pellets that we give are non-GMO. But yeah, one of them passed. He was one of the bigger ones. I have one other big one and 2 smaller guys. They can go to the processor. They'll probably be, I don't know, 35, 40 pounds hanging. The other one I got, he's probably gonna be about 60 pounds hanging. I'm hoping. I hope he weighs 60 hanging. I don't want to process him, but I kind of need to because I have his mother on the property and I don't want him backbreeding his mother or his sister. His sister is a nice looking ewe. I mean, she's putting on some weight. She looks pretty darn good. But I'm walking out here in the pasture and that looks pretty good. I mean, we got junk piles that was left. I never cleaned it up. Junk pile there. Well, that's actually where I throw a lot of the manure and straw used out of the stalls. I need to get to that. I've let everything break down enough that pretty much it's ready to be spread on the field. But, you know, I was talking to Andy and he's like, we can hay this one more time. He goes, you got to get some manure on it. You know, and some fertilizer. I'm like, well, I don't use chemical fertilizers. He's like, well, you got to spread manure. And I'm like, you know, you're a dairy farmer. Your guys lay patties. My guys lay little nuggets. I just don't have the load that he does. Even with, well, now 14 sheep. I just don't have the load. I mean, I do have the donkey, which she drops quite a bit. But not like his 30-some of cows. So, and I don't have a manure spreader. I need to get one. I need to get a little tiny one. One of those that I can run behind the X530. You know, a lot of old tractors in the 40s and 50s only work 25, 35, 40 horse. That thing's 25. And if it starts to slip, I mean, I do have the diff lock on it, so I can lock the diff and get a little more traction and maybe throw some weights on the back end, essentially for plowing, but I could use it for that too to get traction. But yeah, I'm out here in the pasture now. You can see, here, I'm going to turn around the camera. See where they are now. We just mowed the lane. I like to mow the lane, keep it off the wire. But so, right about over there. God, that was horrible. Oh, now it's out of focus. Okay. But over there is where they were last, or at the very beginning. And you can see gradual growth. I mean, you can see it. You can see a line where I had my fence. And then here's a paddock. And we walk along. This paddock was somewhat wide. Then we got another line right here. You can see that line runs straight up. That's where they were 6 days ago, 7 days ago. And we go down here and you can see where they were yesterday. And I moved them out of this. They ate it down a little bit farther than I want. I have been doing that. It has been coming back. Mistake. I got the wire intertwined, didn't notice it. Well, gotta keep them from going through it. A bunch of posts they don't go through. Oh, here's the sheep. What, Eleanor? Here's old 57. Oh, here comes Bandit. Bandit hurt his dew claw and he's never been right. He just isn't healing up. There's Snowman. These two are ram lambs. Snowman's pretty much been taking care of business. Here's Eleanor. Hey, Eleanor. Yeah. Hi, guys. Yeah. There's Buford. He's one that's going to the processor. That is Eleanor's son. He's a beautiful, beautiful Katahdin ram. Well, he's got a little Dorper in him. He's got 25% Dorper, 75% Katahdin. And Alice is right there. That's her daughter. She'll be a great ewe. But yeah, Buford's beautiful. I mean, someone wants to pick them up and use them as a breeder, they're more than welcome. I will sell them and not process them. And we got a couple others here. There's Fancy. Fancy is the black one. And that guy right there is a weathered male. And Mouthy over there, the tan one, he's a weathered male. Those two can go processing. They're a little bit smaller. They're probably, I think Mouthy's probably going to only hang about 25, 20, 30 pounds. And the rest are ewes. Here's Plain Jane, the white one with her head up, next to Fancy. Fancy and Jane are sisters. And then there's that ewe over there, right? She's like the ewe with no name. There's a ewe with no name. That one right there is a ewe, and we call that one 57. It has just got amazing colors. And we call that one the Bandit Imposter. It's a ewe. All right, we're missing someone out here. I gotta go. I'd really hate to have another passing. Then I'd really get worried. And I think we got a major issue going on. This one that's missing, it's not Katahdin. We got them at auction with 57. They were put together. What, Eleanor? Hey, girl. And he just hasn't been doing the best. He needs some medications put in him. He's he might have a high parasite load, so he might need to be wormed. Katahdins tend to have a lesser load. They don't take on as much. Where, you know, these wool sheep, they take a high parasite load. That's why we run the Katahdins, because they have a lower load. I'd love to have a St. Croix ram. Do St. Croix Katahdins. Because then I'd probably be pretty good on parasite loads. All right, give me a minute here. All is good. He's here. There's a guinea. Jenny, what's going on? She's still not the happiest with me. Now they're all in here and they're like, why are we here? All right, everything was okay. That's good. I've been kind of rambling. It's time to get down to business. Talking Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. I should probably put this up so it's a little more stable. You not see all the shaking, get sick. All right, give me 1 second. All right, Talking Tuesday. Got nitromethane. I used to have a Facebook group called I Love the Smell of Racing Fuel. Man, that was silly. I had up to like 400, 500 members at one time. Then it kind of dropped off when they changed all the groups. It wasn't very active. I think people just liked it for the name. But I had a couple shirts made, you know, because it was just fun. All right. I want to talk to you about a couple things. Might be politically charged, might not. It's all in how you take it. It is super muggy out here. Yes, I'm sweating bullets, and it's only like 72 degrees. The humidity is like 98%. And I have my muck boots on, my cheap muck boots, and they're insulated and they're just burning up my feet. Talking Tuesday, we're going to talk about food shortage, weather issues, stuff like that. Out here in Western Pennsylvania, we've had a good amount of rain this year. Chickens. You know, we've had flooding here on the property. Nothing that we couldn't deal with. Nothing major. There was some crop loss, I'm sure, from some farmers. But it looks like everyone kind of survived here. It was more of a flash flood. We got 6 inches in 24 hours. But it's been very rainy here in August. If you watch Outdoors with the Morgans, you'll see that he talks about that. If you watch Hometown Acres, which is in Meadville. He talks about that, and Ohio Wood Burner, which is near me. He's in Northeast Ohio, and he talks about heat, humidity, and rain. Well, we're kind of like in a triangle, and we're all getting nailed. But, yeah, sorry. Unprofessional. Oh, well. I'm not a professional YouTuber anyways. But we've had high amount of rain. We're doing good. West Coast, Central, Midwest, you know, Dakota's breadbasket has had a lot of drought. And that means they're not pulling in the amount of bushels they need. Some people are getting it, some people aren't. In 2019, we had crops that weren't put in at all because of flooding. I'm sure we can all remember Nebraska was pretty much underwater, and it was unfortunate what happened out there and just the pure amount of loss. Last year, you know, there was some planting, but there was also a lot of rain. I was in Illinois last year. Not all the fields got planted. This year, they're droughting. You know, now they're not going to get the yields. So we've had like 3 years of low yield, so to say. And, you know, you're going to look at USDA reports or whatever. I'm not saying believe them, but I'm also saying question them. I mean, I believe some of it, but I question others. But you can go into any supermarket right now, and people have certain regional shortages. And those shortages can be just simple. Like, I have a friend in Wisconsin outside Milwaukee, and he's like, where's all the Halloween candy? They have all these shelves, no Halloween candy. I can go to a store here by us. Where's all the canned food? Where is it all? Where's all the Capri Suns? You know, certain fruit juices that you give your young kids. It's not on the shelf. You can go to other places and there's no canned foods. You know, it's regional shortages. And it's going to affect us more and more. And then those food shortages, of course, are happening with an increase of inflation. And they're going to see prices go up. And then with certain things happening, and I'm not trying to be politically charged, you give more money than for those companies to make, so they're going to raise their prices. And they can raise their prices because they don't have the ability to get the stuff anyways. I forget who it was, if it was General Mills or something. They were talking about to their stockholders, hey, we can't get a hold of certain things that we use to make our cereals, our products. We're going to have to raise the prices because we have to do something new or buy something different that works in place with it. So we're going to see a lot of price hikes on food and food shortages. What can we do? Support local farmers. Support your local small farmer. Support your small homesteader. The guy who's on the corner, he has a sign outside that says fresh brown eggs or anything like that. Where we are, eggs are pretty much $2, $2.50 for a dozen. Because everyone and their brother on the corner has eggs. At least that's what it seems like. I mean, you go in the bigger town, literally driving out of town, there's a person who says fresh eggs because the town allows a certain amount of chickens. Those people are taking the brunt of the cost. They can't raise their prices because people then will balk or squawk about how they're raising the prices. People, fresh eggs should be selling anywhere from $3.50 to $5 a dozen. Just plain and simple. The amount of labor, the amount of money spent on feed, the housing, bedding, pumping water out of the tap, whatever it may be. At $2 a dozen, those people aren't really making anything. They're not. You know what you're doing? Is you're helping them pay for the feed so they can keep those chickens to keep eggs on their own table. And as Americans or anyone else in this world, we should be willing to help out our neighbors. And helping out our neighbors is a great thing. So, what else can you do? Hey, they got cows in the field. I know those are Angus. Or hey, I know those are Herefords. I know that's a beef cow. Let me go see if he's selling one. Hey, are you selling that? He's going to say, yeah, I'm selling halves or wholes or quarters. Go buy one. Trust me. Get from the farmer now before the prices go up, before we have a processing issue again. Because everyone's going to see everything going up. Everyone's going to run everything to the processor again. And the processors will be backed up. Because we're dealing with rising numbers and rising numbers. And those rising numbers are based upon one thing and another. If you can't figure it out, I'm sorry. These are things that we need to take care of, and these are things that we need to do, and we need to do it soon. Because things can get a little crazy. We're headed into winter. Sure, southern states do fine through it sometimes. Let's remember Texas last year. Got super cold. Snowstorms. No power. So don't go out and buy half a cow and put it in the freezer and not have a generator just in case. Because you're going to need it, because you don't want to lose half your cow. So certain things we need to do. We need to take care of people. We need to take care of each other. And we need to be prepared for this upcoming food shortage or whatever. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You're still supporting someone local. If you buy a half cow or a quarter and you never buy from them again, that's okay. It's one of those things. You supported them through a hard time. Farmers are paying a lot for feed right now. Farmers are not putting the amount of feed into their cattle right now because of high costs, and they're feeding more pasture. With all the rain around here, I can tell you right now, these guys are cutting hay like it's going out of style. And yes, they do it normally, but they're stockpiling because that's going to help them not put so much into grain. They can stretch their grain a little bit. They might change it up a little bit for their beef herd. Dairy, they can't really change because they need that production. They need the amount of milk out of them. That's where they make their money. But go out, help a local farmer, help local homestead, the guy on the street selling eggs, farmers markets. And when you go to the farmers markets, you know who to buy from. Don't buy from the guy who buys it at a wholesale auction and turns around and resells it. Buy from the guy who put it in the ground by his own hands. Guy who's picked it all, done it all. Support them first and foremost. Not saying that you shouldn't buy from someone else, but support the local guy first. Then help out the bigger people next. All right, remember, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time here at the Chicken Ranch Homestead. Peace.